Hello and welcome to Shadowing with Manga. Ron needed some extra money. Collecting action comic books was his hobby, and new comics were not cheap. Ron saw all his friends with new issues of action comic stories. This upset Ron and made him also feel angry because all his friends had more comics than him. Ron asked his mother for a little extra money, but she said, "If you want money for comics, you will have to earn it for yourself." I'm so glad you're here. In this introduction, I'm going to tell you how shadowing with manga works and give you some tips for how to get the most out of each lesson. First, let me remind you what shadowing is and how it helps you improve your English. Shadowing is simply listening to short phrases and repeat them immediately after the speaker, trying to imitate the pronunciation, stress, and the rhythm of the phrase as closely as possible. This will help you learn to copy a native English speaker's pronunciation. Sometimes, when you're studying English by yourself, and you're not surrounded by native English speakers, or when you are studying English primarily by reading English lessons, instead by listening and speaking and getting feedback. It's easy to get into the habit of pronouncing English words differently from how a native English speaker would say them. These pronunciation differences are what give you an accent and what make it obviously you are not a native English speaker. This is a normal part of learning process and it's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, you can speak fluent English with an accent as long as your pronunciation is clear. But if you want to reduce your accent and talk more like a native English speaker, then shadowing will help you get closer to the goal. When you practice shadowing, you are practicing every part of pronunciation. The individual sounds, how those sounds connect together, the proper stress and rhythm of the phrase, kinds of jobs. It was October, and so it was too early to shovel snow for his neighbors. It was too late and too cool to open a lemonade stand in front of his family's house. However, lemonade did give Ron an idea. He asked himself, what do people want in the cold month instead of lemonade? Then he imagined soup, hot, steaming, savory soup. He thought, that's what people want. I want you to repeat immediately after the voice, because I don't want you to think too much about the phrase or overanalyze the words. So don't wait, don't hesitate, don't try to read the text. Just look at the pictures and repeat after the voice immediately. Just do your best. It's okay to make mistakes. Right away, he made a wooden counter and placed boxes around for his customers to sit on. Then he began preparing his first pot of soup. Ron was surprised that his first pot of soup was very tasty. Ron's second pot of soup was even better. When he brought the soup to the sidewalk and many people could smell the wonderful soup, customers paid $2 to each bowl. Soup became popular. Ron's soup business soon became famous in his neighborhood. Sometimes there were more than 20 people waiting in line for a bowl of his soup. Ron was so busy that he had to pay his sister some money to help him. Soup for sale! Soup for sale! She would show while he was busy in the kitchen making more. I suggest doing each lesson in 3 steps. Step 1. Watch the movie and practice shadowing. Step 2 is you read the text. The text is in a PDF file. Step 3. Now the more familiar with the text as well as the contents of the story, and you've already practiced shadowing once, now try shadowing again. This will really help you listen and repeat using only your ears and voice without getting confused or delayed by reading or by the written form of the word. This is definitely more challenging but really good way to improve. But so sad of smell of soup. He remembered his comic book collection. He realized that he didn't have time anymore to reading comics. His business was too busy. I cannot quit, thought Ron. The neighborhood loves my soup so much. Ron thought some more about his problem and then decided there was only one thing he could do. Sell the recipe. Ron and his family became rich after selling the recipe. Ron had all the comic books that he wanted. But the unhappy part of his story, he was so tired of soup, never again sipped another spoonful. Finally, I'd like to say one more time, it's okay to make mistakes. A lot of students have some difficulty speaking fast and getting all the words right. That's normal. Try to think of it as a game. Every time you practice, try to make fewer and fewer mistakes until you can shadow almost perfectly.
Well, said Ziggy nervously as he thought about what he could say, John's car broke down on the highway. This was Ziggy's first lie to his parents. Why didn't you call us? Asked Ziggy's dad. He looked very tired. My phone's battery is dead. I wanted to call, but I couldn't, and John didn't have a phone. So why didn't you find a payphone? Asked Ziggy's mother. I didn't have any change, and I asked John if he had a quarter, and he said he didn't have any. What's wrong with the car? Asked Ziggy's dad. Engine trouble. Ziggy didn't even think before he said this. It just slipped out of his mouth. Engine trouble? Really? So somebody stopped their car on the highway to help you? Yes, that's right, Ziggy said. And then what happened? Asked Ziggy's dad. Ziggy couldn't believe it. He had told so many lies to his parents, and he was starting to get a sickly feeling in his stomach. How much longer will this continue? He thought. Well, after the man stopped to help us, he took a look at John's car.